commitment of this man for the podcast. To start our first episode, he got himself in a car crash so we would have something to talk about because this is completely unplanned.
Yep. Exactly what I wanted to do on a Monday morning. I was sitting in the car and I'm like, why are we doing this at 8 a.m. on a Monday?
Sorry.
It's my sleep-in day.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, at least I get coffee. And then bang, straight up the back. And I'm like, can I go home?
No, you cannot. No one wants to listen to me talk shit about myself for an hour, besides me.
One thing I did think, though, the second it happened, and he's like, you okay? I'm like, thank God I have traps. Because that hurt my neck. Like, my neck hurt, and I was like, oh, imagine if it wasn't me.
Imagine if it was me without traps.
Yeah. Finally, they came in handy. Like, not having a neck.
What do you mean finally they came in handy?
Saved my neck.
Do Strongman. Strongman's all about the traps. All about your neck.
Real function.
Yeah.
Outside of the gym. Like, didn't die.
Besides looking swole.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's traps. Unlike me. Without traps. Stephanie Eggleton, thank you very much for always giving me shit. Making me feel inadequate.
Yeah, you wouldn't be here right now.
Nah.
Not if you're in that car accident.
No, I'd be gone if I didn't have traps to save my life like you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And bring my coffee late.
Look, it turned up.
Yeah, well, better late than never, they say.
Benefits of the gym being 2 minutes from home.
Yeah, true. Well, welcome to the Strongman Say Podcast. We actually don't know what we're going to call it that, but it kind of has a nice ring to it.
It works.
Yeah, I'm about it.
Yeah.
That or it was like Strongman Way Radio, something boring. Well, there was a lot of good suggestions, though.
Yeah, I didn't get any on my end. It was Leigh and Big T.
Leigh and Big T?
Yeah.
Quadcast was really good, yeah. I put up a Q&A during the week of like what we're going to call this, and we had some ripper suggestions. There were some really good ones.
Quadcast is good.
Quadcast was excellent.
That's good.
Yeah.
The Strongman Say ruins my OCD because it should be the Strongmen Say.
Yeah.
Or the Strongman Says.
The Strongman Says. It doesn't have the same like ring to it. There was a couple other good ones. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't know. Yeah. They're on your story.
Nah, yeah, I made sure that I sort of took a screenshot.
I asked for topics and didn't really get much good back. There was a lot of sexual stuff.
Yeah.
Will you guys do this?
Will you guys do this?
Yeah.
Who's following you?
And then
I got legitimate responses from that.
Yeah. No, your client Nathaniel?
Yes.
He's like, well, judging by your anonymous questions, it's going to be 70 episodes on steroids.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
probably,
that's my following.
Yeah.
I feel like the anonymous question thing though is kind of like I'm 16 on Tumblr again, or like whatever that like app was. I think there was like that like
just on Reddit.
Yeah, like Reddit. You know, like it's such a 14-year-old thing to do is like anon questions. Tell me what you think about me. Hit like and I'll tell you what I think about you, what I really think about you.
I feel like every follower's just sitting there with pent up frustration.
Yeah.
Like, finally,
yeah,
I can say what I want.
I can say that.
No
like,
repercussions.
Yeah, I can say that. Like, yeah, it's such a 14-year-old girl thing or boy thing to do. But then you do one and the influx of people that have just like followed you for like 2 years, like, oh, finally I can ask an anonymous question. We have an anonymous suggestion box in the gym and fuck me. Like, like how is it like, oh, you don't have to put your name on it. So now I'll just bitch. Like now I'll just throw in whatever I think. It's like, let's make some consequences about this. I want to put a camera on my suggestion box and see who's writing. Like, it's anonymous, but I'm going to film you and watch you do it.
But then it goes back to no one suggesting anything because they're like, oh, I don't want that attached to me.
Yeah. When did we become like this?
When
do we lose the balls to just be like, hey, bro, like, probably put your shit away?
Have you seen half the women's anonymous questions?
Nah.
It is all like, when are you making an OnlyFans? Would you do this? How can a guy...
Men are the worst. Like, we are fucking terrible.
If you were out, how could a random guy pick you up? And then mine's just like, gear.
Yeah. No one's asking me that.
No one's asking me out. No one wants to swoon me. No.
And if they are, it's dudes. Like, if someone in anonymous message is asking me how they can pick me up while I'm out, I know it's a guy. It's not a female.
That's the old thing of like, you go to the gym to get big, go out, hope girls pick you up.
Yeah.
Never happens. And all the guys come up and they're like, oh, bro, you're looking pretty big. Like, what do you bench?
Yeah. If you're 16 and watching this, thinking like, I'm into the gym, man. I want to get jacked and like appeal to the opposite sex. You're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's not exactly how it works, but bros will love you.
They will come flocking.
Like that's the only person who would inappropriately and unsolicitedly touch me in public while out in a bar is a man. Like,
that's
hey,
bad
bro.
at comps too.
Yeah, bad at comps. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm at a comp and someone grabs my ass. And I'm like, that could be 20 different guys.
Yeah, but you know,
No,
it's,
no.
yeah, you know, it's not a girl.
Or Steph.
Yeah, not Steph, but probably not Steph. Probably 20 other guys.
No, I'm like, it's a bit firm. They went a bit deep. It's definitely one of the guys.
Is that a finger? That's definitely a dude.
Yeah. I know who that is.
Who let us do a podcast? Why was this a good idea?
Great idea.
OSG qualifications are on at the moment, which is interesting because I'm seeing, I saw Big Tom from Texas put up like a 170 sandbag today, which is pretty solid.
Do you see Wesley Claiborne?
Nah.
200.
Poor sandbag?
Sandbag.
It's a big sandbag to shoulder.
And picks it up
Yeah.
easy.
Oh, and I've seen some absolutely horrendous sandbag to shoulders. I was actually thinking after this podcast about doing a video about do a sandbag to shoulder or like stone to shoulder because I love Tommy, but he just did it. He did like the vertical pick into the lap and the changeover and then changed it over in his lap again to a vertical position so he could get it into his shoulder. Like,
So just did it twice.
oh, did it twice. And I was like, that's a hard way to go. Wesley Claiborne.
I've never seen a 200 sandbag.
He's
get
so
picked up
strong
that
too.
big.
Yeah, 100%. Is it a 180 Cerberus bag that just fills to 200?
Must be.
Because then it's pretty tight.
They don't
too.
make 200 kilo sandbags.
Yeah, because people don't do them.
No.
That's pretty good. That's not that hard.
Mm.
What a monster.
I was trying to explain to one of the guys, there was a video of an old dude shouldering a 200 stone. And you would think that it would be
he
quick.
edges it up.
Yeah, real
I've seen
slow
this,
and
yeah.
just leans back.
Yeah, real slow.
Like limbo's under
I
it.
mean, the problem with kind of qualifying for OSG here at the moment in Australia, and I mean, this is kind of the whole thing, like whenever we travel overseas, you know, and people say, oh, Americans don't come here, blah, blah, blah. It's because it's super expensive and it's expensive for us to fly over there. But we were looking, I mean, you were looking at going to OSG in November and the viability of it is just like next to none, right?
The good connecting flights were like 2,600 return.
Yeah.
If you stayed in Singapore or Hong Kong for 2 days and then connected with something else, it was still like 2,200.
Yeah.
And then like a good direct flight was like $3,000 plus.
Yeah, which is just huge, like return. That's massive money. Plus it's, what'd you say the entry fee was this year?
Entry fees $285 US, which ends up being like 415 Australian.
Then
So
add
it's-
what, like $1,600 minimum for accommodation for a week.
Yep.
Like $5,000, no
And
worries,
taxis
without
and
even doing
Ubers.
anything.
Because there's nothing in Daytona.
Yeah,
There's
when-
nothing in that
I was
place.
exactly the same. When I was in Raleigh, we went, Raleigh, I don't know how you say it. It was
Raleigh?
Yeah, Raleigh.
Raleigh?
Raleigh.
Yeah.
We were in the middle, so I went with Cam Taylor, hashtag the worst thing to happen to Strongman. And we were in the middle of nowhere. So like we went to the accommodation that the event organizers told us and it was fine because in Raleigh, everything was just everywhere. There was like 3 little central hubs. So to get anywhere and everywhere, it was always a 15-minute Uber drive. I reckon I spent $300 on Uber in that week just trying to get around.
Yeah.
It was wild. So like you don't think about those things.
We have the same here. Like most of the comps are in small towns, but we have our cars.
Yeah, of course.
And it's in our country.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
easier to go, oh, we can go here, we can go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daytona, I was like, there's a 7-Eleven and there's a Starbucks and there's like a
I don't see the
seafood,
problem.
like a deep fried. I was cutting weight.
Yeah, you got Slurpees and Coke Zero
Yeah,
right there.
I was
That's
cutting
about
weight.
it. So
I'm like,
Slurpees and...
Can I just get some chicken and some broccoli?
It's America.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
It was a hard weight cut.
Yeah. Although Arnold's, when you're in Ohio, because the whole city gets around like Arnold's Ohio, that kind of deal. I found this like little sports bar that just did like chicken, asparagus, and brown rice. So I just ate there every day. But it was wildly expensive too, compared. Like, I mean, we used to think America, you go to America and $1 kind of like, it sucks. But at least the meals, we were talking about this the other day, at least the meals are kind of cheap. Like at least you go over there and it's pretty cheap to like live. And now it's just our dollar sucks and everything costs exactly the same. Like it's $20 for a meal here, it's $20 for a meal there, but we're paying 30. Like suddenly it's just kind of caught up.
But they're the shit meals too.
Yeah.
They're the cheap big meals. They're not even the healthy or the good options.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely like, it'd be interesting. I'm keen to see who goes over to OSG this year because it is just super expensive now to go over there, or at the moment it's super expensive to travel overseas, particularly to the US.
Well, Europe was 1,800.
Cheaper.
Like when I looked at France.
Yeah. There's a Paris comp for Ultimate Strongman, which is like an under 105 and under 90, and the events are excellent.
The events are very good, but it's in October.
Yeah, and my son's due.
Close.
I said to my partner, I was like, do you want to go to Paris? She's like, oh, that'd be great. I'm like, yeah, there's a comp there. She's like, when is it? I'm like, October. No. Are you serious? I'm like, the events are really good for me though. I think I could win this.
There's good prize money.
There's good prize money.
After.
Yeah, I could buy a pram. Hey, what are you talking about? Let me go. Stone to shoulder. I love a stone to shoulder.
Could have baby born in Paris.
Baby born. Imagine that. Baby born in Paris.
Do they get citizenship?
Or a beret. I'd settle for beret.
Would it be a French kid?
Could it compete for...
Can it take records?
Can it take records?
Who would it represent?
Can it represent France at World's Strongest Man?
It was born in France.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It was born in France. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We love you, Coco. But we're allowed to take the piss.
It's not Coco, it's everyone else.
Yeah, it's everyone else. Yeah, you're right.
Coco's just competing, enjoying himself, and like the world's just imploding.
Yeah, I don't understand why everyone keeps flying that much, you know? People like to get too involved.
Speaking of, Eddie Williams.
Yeah, did the recent one,
Yeah,
right? I saw this.
I don't even know what it's called. The Giants Live one.
Yeah, Strongman Challenge or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strongman Classic or something very
Did
simple.
pretty well.
Yeah, really well.
Won the Hercules hold against
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, I know. Mark Felix especially.
Yeah.
Like, renowned.
He came
Hercules hold
fifth, I
king.
think.
Yeah.
In that event.
Apparently he hurt his wrist.
Yeah.
With a dumbbell or something like that. But another cop won.
Yep. As
And
you'd
like,
expect.
Yeah, especially in that lineup and stuff. Mitch became second.
Yeah.
Which was like, he did consistent. Super consistent. For someone
Does really well at what he's good at.
Yeah, for sure.
And then drops the ball on everything that he's like never really done it before.
That's not worth training.
Yeah.
At the world level.
How hard could it be? How hard could a truck pull be? I know the mechanics of it. How hard could it be?
Yeah. Pulling a truck's easy. What's the point?
Comes like third last in the event.
Impressive because it's his third real competition too. Like, like how many strongman comps has he actually done though?
Stupid strong.
Like 4? Yeah, it's just dumb strong. Yeah.
Practice your sport.
Yeah. Fuck. We won't swear. You won't have to beep anything out.
Yeah.
3 minutes in. Beep. Yeah, we tried our best.
Yeah, it's out now. It's out.
Yeah, okay, we'll get our system. Yeah, super interesting to watch. But Eddie did great. And finally, like, I mean, that's what everyone was kind of looking for, right? Was someone to... Did he compete under the Australian flag?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, which is killer. Which is really good because that was like the whole thing, right? Like we want someone to represent the country at World's Strongest Man or at international events. It's actually Australian or representing, not actually Australian. That's probably the wrong thing to say. Someone will shoot me down in Strongman Australia Facebook group for that.
Hashtag Australian made.
Yeah, hashtag Australian made. Yeah. But someone who's actually going to be representing the Australian flag at these events, right, was kind of like the big thing. And then obviously the record thing, which was a whole big deal as well, which I get and don't. Like, I mean, competitions, it's strongman. We're here to win competitions, right? We complain about this all the time on social media that, I mean, COVID was great for it, right? Like COVID records thing.
COVID ruined it because then, like Thor, all the big guys just went and hunted records.
And now now
everyone thinks records are strongman.
Yeah, and it's not. Like strongman is all about winning competitions, like winning titles. Like winning World's Strongest Man was supposed to be the pinnacle of the sport, but now if you deadlift 505, you'll win $50,000.
Yep.
And that's not what it was. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not supposed to be about the log record, the deadlift record. Now this deadlift record thing is the biggest thing since sliced bread, and it gets more attention or more media coverage than winning World's Strongest Man or winning the Arnolds.
Well, it got to a stage where Eddie and all those guys would have a crack at the record and then not do the rest of the comp.
Yeah.
So, like, it was Lawrence Charlet that won Europe's.
Yeah.
but because Eddie got the deadlift, that's all anyone cared about.
Yeah, I don't get
think
that.
that's how it worked.
That's happened recently at competition. There was a record broken recently, and the person did the record. It was the first event, and then left the competition.
Yep.
And I just don't think that's good sportsmanship. But I just don't think it's right. Like, we're here to compete in strongman. I think absolutely, like, records should be broken in competitions. And if there's a standalone event, there's a standalone event. But I think, like, a competitor should have to at least do a token lift. Like, at least have the sportsmanship, or like
just move the yoke.
Yeah, like, we're competing in strongman. You sign up for a comp. Like, do the fucking comp. Like, that's what it's for. Like,
I think the records thing, I've always thought, like, if I get a record, someone can take it off me.
Yeah.
If I win a comp.
Yeah, no one can take it off you.
I won that year.
Yeah, 100%. I got the trophy.
I'm the champion of that year. I am Australia's 100%. Strongest that year.
Definitely.
Someone can win it the next year.
Yeah, but that's a good way to put it.
You're not like, I'm the 2018 world record holder.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
No, you don't have the current record.
Yeah. Unless
you're no one.
Unless you're really strong and no one could take your record off you for a while.
Well, then you're the current record holder. But once it's gone, it's gone. You can't be like, oh, previous record holder. It's
no one cares. Yeah, no one cares.
Who's got it
when
now?
When I was 20, I benched 300.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to be that guy.
Yeah. Or you can say, in 2018, I won this.
Yeah, for sure.
In 5 events against everyone.
So you're going to win the middleweight series here in 4 weeks?
That's the goal.
105?
Yeah. That'd be the goal.
Stacked 105s. We're looking at the event list just before we started this.
I think 70% of the comp.
Yeah, 70% is just 105s.
Yeah.
Which is super interesting. It'll be interesting to see who else signs up. We had this conversation just before we started. And we've also talked about that we just need to wean ourselves off each other. We spend every day with each other. We train together. We used to live together. Zed, we talk too much throughout the week. Like, we sit in this office and talk shit all the time. Like, we gotta say this is valuable content now that we're podcasters. Like, can we say we're podcasters? Does that go in my Instagram bio now?
Sure, it can. Yeah. The same with the record. The same with Australian made.
Australian made. But we were talking about the events list, or like the competitor list, and how I don't want to post it. And I've heard Tiff from Steal a Stone doesn't post hers. And that's where I got this idea that I didn't have to post it, because all these lifters out here dodging other lifters or not coming to travel. And I understand it costs money, but if you think that someone's going to beat you and you don't travel down to compete, I think that's a really, really poor excuse not to come. I think you sign up and you come and compete. Isn't that the whole idea? Like, you should be chasing competition. And the beauty of the middleweight series for all you competition dodgers is the fact that you get points. Right? Like, that's the whole idea. Like, you show up more, you do better. If you come third, it's absolutely sweet, because you can accumulate points to come and compete, right? So don't be dodging, like, come throw down.
I think dodging's a bad thing, though, like, mentally, because, like, you've just told yourself you're not going to win.
Yeah.
You just told yourself you're beatable. Which
is absolutely fine if you're competing against me and you're a 105.
No, see, every comp, I'm just like, there's a way on the right day that everyone can be taken
Everyone can be beaten. Yeah,
or
100%.
something can just happen.
Yes, definitely.
You can pick up a sandbag and your hamstring decides to go on
too
you.
Soon. Hey. I'm getting fragile and old. Yeah.
And you don't finish the sandbag run at Toowoomba.
Hey. Didn't finish the sandbag run. Still won. So that's all that matters.
But if that was event 1,
yeah.
And you had to deadlift and log. So, like, anything can happen.
100%.
Like, someone that is so far ahead can just roll their ankle.
Totally.
And then you're like, sick, it's up for grabs.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, Australia's Strongest Man was a great example of that. Like, Jordan was the undercard.
Yep.
He was the wild card. And because there was a couple guys, you got like Corey hurt his hamstring in the squat. You hear like another guy hurt his like shoulder. Then you have like Thomas Wren pull his hamstring in the moving event. And then suddenly there's 3 guys who were great contenders getting points. And like probably the most experienced guys, like Corey and Thomas Wren were the most experienced guys.
Yeah, at that level.
The ones who have done the most ASMs. And suddenly they're out. Gone. Jordan rises to the top.
So, yeah, I think for any comp like that, dodging people is not the right attitude.
Nah, I agree. Which means
we're getting back to a point in Australia where people are starting to cut out of weight classes and dodge people as well.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, the 105s are coming up. The 105s have been real thin for a while. But it's
some of the women have gone from like 73s to be like, maybe I'll do 64s, because no one's in the 64s anymore.
Which is a big cut too for a female body weight.
So like the last Arnold's, the 2019 one, the 64s were getting really stacked.
Yes, they were.
Then they brought the 73s in.
Yeah.
Kind of divided
And a lot of those
everybody.
girls who were like in the middle.
Yeah, all the strongest ones went up. So the 64s are open.
Because a lot of those girls are having a hard time cutting to 64 anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is like, that's kind of the hard thing that everyone talks about. Oh, we need a 120 or a 125. This is one thing that I hear. Like, we need a 120 or 125 male class. And no, we don't. Like, just get stronger. Like, there's 120 strongmen like Matt Lynch Blanche, won Australian Arnold's at 120.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Beat all the heavy guys. Like, you can be strong at 120. You can be strong at 140.
Coco.
Yeah, 130.
On a good day.
Yeah.
Probably lighter.
Coco.
128.
You probably don't listen to this.
Rob Kearney, 120. He's probably heavier now, but was 130 when he was winning Arnold Pro Show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And runs like a 500 yoke. Like it's nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
Novikov, the small guy.
Oh, yeah, 100%. One world's strongest man. And then again, like, not again, but like, he's crushed a lot of these recent competitions. Like, he's strong. He's beating guys way heavier than him.
Or you'll jump in a heavyweight comp and you'd be 112 or something.
I won't do that well anymore.
Not right now.
Not right now. Hey, I'm coming back. I was 106 this morning.
2019, Tyson.
Yeah, I know. Don't talk to me. It was giving me shit. I didn't post my competition from our recent comp. I won basically 105 champion, whatever.
Whatever. National title. Fine.
National title. But he was giving me shit because I didn't post it. He's like, well, you didn't post it. And I was like, well, I didn't do very well, did I? And he's like, I would have kicked my own ass back in like 2018, 2019. It's because I spent the summer traveling around in a van and he gave me shit for it all summer, doing bro bodybuilding circuits. And then 8 weeks out, I went, oh shit, that came pretty quick. I've got to get ready for this comp.
Because you hopped in a van, drove around the country and went vegan.
Yeah, again.
Literally.
Twice in the last 6 months.
Not giving you shit, that's what you did.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I get that though. Like the Static Worlds.
Yes.
2018 that was on Gold Coast.
Yeah.
I won that in the 90s.
Yeah.
With my opening log.
Yeah.
Messed up the next two.
Yeah.
Didn't get what I want on Axel.
It's because you used to dance around with your split jerk everywhere.
Kept trying to be athletic. Yeah. But then like Terrence dislocated his finger. And then Eric, so Terrence is from South Africa.
Yeah.
Real strong guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
dislocated his finger.
Yeah.
So he couldn't hold the straps on properly.
Yeah.
And then Eric was from the States in America. And he hurt his back.
Yeah.
So I won, and everyone's like, sick, you won. That's awesome. And I'm like, yeah. I didn't hit anything that I wanted to.
No, that's the thing.
And we all had a shit time.
Yeah, 100%. It doesn't matter if you win.
I had the better.
Winning's one thing, like we're talking about. Like, yes, of course it's good to win. Like, winning titles, no one can take that off you. But at the same time, if you win and you don't really do what you think you're capable of doing, it's kind of bittersweet, hey?
Yeah, I've come second or third at comps and felt like I did better. And I'm like more proud of that than some that I've won.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that was everything I gave.
Yeah, I agree.
So
yeah, that's the same with when I was overseas and coming third in like Ultimate Strongman and like the Ultimate Strongman check as well. But I like went up against killers.
Yeah.
Like absolutely killers. Like they were so strong. And I just gave them all. I competed really well. But I came third and I deserved to.
It's a different world out there.
Different world. Yeah, Eastern Euro Bloc guys are another level. Some strong guys.
They're exactly what you think.
Yeah, yeah.
If you have an image of your head, they walk into the gym and go, let's pick up dumbbell, let's pick up log, let's deadlift, go home.
Yeah,
that's
exactly it. Like every day, it's like, what are we training today? Today we dumbbell, and then we yoke, and then and then we log, and it's like you go back in the next day. What are we doing? Today we dumbbell and we log. And I'm like, oh, we're doing log again. Cool. Okay.
Like lighter than yesterday? No, heavier.
Heavy. We got heavy today. We got heavy every day.
Must be something to that.
Yeah, for a period of time.
That and really cheap drugs over there.
Yeah.
That combination.
Yeah, the fact that you can get it over the counter at the pharmacy. It's wild, dude. Like when you go over there, it was in the Ukraine. And you can get like test prop over the counter in the pharmacy. So we get to Ukraine and the guys that I'm with from Czech Republic, I'm sure they can't get in trouble because they're from a different country. But we go over there and they're like, oh, come for a walk. And I'm like, all right. So they start going to the pharmacies and asking for test prop over the counter. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, it's legal over the counter. Like, you can go buy it. They go to 4 or 5 pharmacies. No one has it. Because the Lithuanian guys and the Latvian guys or something like that had already been through and gotten and bought every bit of test prop along the street and put it in their car so they could drive back over the border. It's just wild over there, dude. It's another world. That was in the Ukraine, actually.
Even OSG and stuff, everyone's super open about it.
Yeah.
And
like,
that's why when it's here,
yeah,
it seems so
And the
taboo. And
drips.
I'm like,
yeah,
it's all just normal over there.
yeah.
Like someone turns up and they're like, oh, I feel so much better this year because I stopped trying to take so much stuff.
Yeah.
And then compete well. And everyone's quite open. But yeah, the drips were at
Yeah,
the year you did it.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
Like cutting weight and jumping on the drip was awesome.
Who
Like,
did that recently? Someone here.
it's like into fight or in fight or something like that was really good.
Yeah.
Clash will be interesting as well. Australia's strongest.
Yeah, the one here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
if
Clash
some
in
of them-
America would be really cool, but once again,
That'd be
circles
great.
back to it's really expensive to go to the US at the moment, but it would be very cool.
Yeah.
But Clash is coming to Oz,
Yeah.
which would be cool.
Yeah, it's the first time that we've had qualifiers for somewhere else, but it kind of ties back into our comp.
Yeah.
Normally it's like, come do our nationals,
Yeah,
come
of
do
course.
this. It's a qualifier for OSG.
Yeah.
but our comp's not.
The
OSG?
comp. Yeah, our comp's not the comp
Yeah.
to do. But there's $5 grand of
Whereas
prize
now
money, which is
it's
huge
changed.
for our sport,
Mm.
which is massive. Because, I mean, we've been doing this for a while.
Yep.
And it hasn't been until like the last year or two that there's been any money. Like even like I think my best prize money was like 3 or 4 grand in China, but like not in Australia. In Australia, I think my best prize money was like $200 or $400.
No, I think the dumbbell record,
Yeah,
I got money for that.
yeah,
But that was because I can't remember his name. He's a Valhalla big powerlifter guy.
Yeah.
Andrew Lamb maybe, but
Yeah,
he's
I
a
think
solicitor.
Yep.
So he put it up.
Okay. Yeah,
Put
yeah,
up like
yeah.
a fair few
Yeah,
grand,
like a generous
and it got
dude.
dividended it out.
Yeah, of
If he didn't do that,
course.
there would have been nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
So it was purely just like one person that was like, "Oh yeah, I'll support this."
Which is it kind of like comes down to like I think now so if a couple people, but
Yeah.
the more marketable the sport becomes, the more possible more people coming on board.
Yeah.
It happens, you know. But big change and cool to have like Clash here. You're gonna do 105s or 90s
I've only qualified for 90s.
so far.
Yeah, I'd have to do.
Oh, the middleweight series doesn't qualify, does it? It's
Nah.
separate.
I'd have to do VIX 105s.
Yeah, you could do that.
Might do. I probably won't do 90s.
Big strongest man.
If I don't do 90s, then that lets Cam cut to 90s if he wants to keep his VIX thing going.
Yeah, sure.
Because he's won 90s.
Yeah. We don't want to
last
give that
2-3
to him
years.
though. That's a tough decision to make.
He's still got to cut to 90.
Both of you are still going to cut to 90.
Yeah.
Vix will be good though. We're sort of teaser alert. We're still working on it because we need council approval to run it on the date that we want to run it on, which changes the events, which makes it a little bit hard to kind of like release, but we've still got a little bit of time. But I think we could probably safely say practice your squats or get under a barbell because there will definitely be a sort of squat in some capacity. Maybe. I don't know whether I want to say that. Mason might shoot me down.
No, you can say that.
Nah, Mason won't shoot
Do you
me
think
down. It's
Thomas
too
Wren will come do the comp? If there's a squat?
nice. Maybe. I don't know why he doesn't go to powerlifting. He loves to squat that. He loves to squat that much.
No, I think him and Aiden going to South Australia
To
What
try and
comp are they doing?
qualify. Yeah, maybe. What comp South Australia?
Compound Conception,
Oh, there's no squat there though.
Carl and Camilla's.
Yeah. Yoke
No.
sandbag.
They had a YouTube video up the other day.
Did they?
Yeah, Aiden's channel.
Yeah.
Training with
Oh,
Thomas.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Hatfield squats with the bands and
Yeah.
the chains and stuff. Matt Winning, good coach.
Yeah.
Interesting though.
So I think they've got to qualify somewhere.
Yeah.
And then Vix is going to be that last band
Well, I didn't know I had to qualify
for
until you told me the other day for middleweight.
for
series.
middleweights.
Yeah. They put up a post saying that like if we won, we re-qualified. And I was like, that shouldn't be right. Like I was like, we shouldn't re-qualify. ASM didn't re-qualify. I think we should be promoted to like compete more and stuff like that. And I had my feet up. I was like, cool. Like I've qualified for everything. I've qualified for AS International. I've qualified for middleweight series. I'm good. I was like, sweet, sick. I was like, kick back. And then he's like, nah, I think you have to qualify now. I was like, oh shit, I better get training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I spoke to Mason on Friday and he was like, yeah, we had that, but then we pulled it down. And I'm like,
Yeah,
did you tell them?
Yeah, like you can't
tell the
you
guys?
can't post it, us see it,
Yeah.
and then take it down and think that we've noticed.
Yeah, so
I don't pay that much attention.
I might tell him to message nah.
Yeah.
Like, just let him know because he's in WA.
Yeah, 100%.
That he has to come
WA
across.
is basically not Australia. It's more expensive to go compete over in WA than it is in the States, I reckon.
Harder to get into.
Harder to get into too with the border restrictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nah, so you might have to qualify for that. You've got to do one.
Yeah, I'll do Chronicle, I think. We sort of talked about going up there. I don't like chain yoke. It's very CrossFitty. Like, I like strongman.
Josh.
I like strongman to be strongman. Make strongman great again, but... Can we get like some MAGA hats? It's like MSGA. Because it can be the podcast like slogan, like make strongman great again, like it's hashtag, make some red hats, get some like little hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, do Chronicle, but yeah, I'm not a huge, I mean, there's a stone, I like that, but it is a little bit CrossFit, like chain yoke's not.
It's at a CrossFit place.
Yeah, I know.
Run by someone that does a lot of CrossFit.
Josh is coming down here for ours as well, which would be good. They're really nice.
No, he has heaps of great ideas. Like because we all caught up on last Friday.
On the ref thing, yeah.
Yeah, to go over refs and rules and judging and try to get something like...
Which is a real cool thing in terms of like standardizing the sport or helping the sport, like in terms of like increasing the standard of reffing and what we're doing and what we deem acceptable.
So the long-term goal is every comp that's AS is the same.
Yeah.
So like we were talking about, so I'll do it for middleweights, start to try to implement those rules.
Yeah.
So like one was doing yoke farmers carrying events.
Yeah.
They start in the middle of the start line.
Mm-hmm.
So you essentially stand on the start line.
Yeah.
And then if you're going to one end, the time stops when the middle crosses.
Yeah, like your
rather
feet,
than this tip to tail and tail to tip and all that confusion.
We're so sorry, everybody, because I don't mean no, just the tip. In the rules
you can ask
briefing,
that
every time, every rules briefing. Did you say just the tip?
Everyone's like, classic. So funny.
Oh, are we allowed to use tacky on the farmers?
Yeah.
Like, and trust me, like, we're culprits of it too, probably as well. And it's funny.
I'll still
but
keep
it'd be, yeah, I mean, we'll give it a shit, but I'll still laugh. But yeah, it gets rid of that. So just foot to foot. I think that's better.
Foot to foot.
Means you're actually traveling 10 meters.
Yeah.
Not like a Sam surf 10 meter.
Those mats are 1.5 meters each, man. 1.5 meters.
We're going to be ostracized by the community.
So that's what they really think of all of us?
We love you all. But we're allowed to give you shit. I give myself shit.
Yeah. No one rips shit on me harder than me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No one's harder on me than I am.
Yeah. So yeah, the rules thing, I didn't say it to Mason, but I think long term, you know, like GPC, you don't just message Marcos and go, hey, can I wear 3 wraps and 2 belts?
Yeah.
Because he'll go to the website.
Yeah.
There's a rules book.
Yeah, yeah.
I think long term that'd be a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Have their website, have a rules book that just says moving events, this is it.
Like getting to ASMS in Toowoomba and being like, you can't wear 2 belts for an axle clean.
Or the belt rule. Yeah. It's just unanimous.
Yeah.
We had it with like penalties as well. Like slide something the first time, get a warning.
Yeah.
Slide it a second time, you get 5 seconds off.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were sitting there and
5 seconds
and we're like, 5 seconds is a lot. And then I think
don't slide it.
Yeah, Camilla was like, they won't do it again.
Yeah, totally.
Make it harsh.
Or they won't do it the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think if they don't finish, then might be 5 meters.
Yeah, which is huge.
I just want it the same because it's OCD. I just want it to be 5 and 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, 5 meters is way worse than 5 seconds, depending on how slow you are.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I think that's probably like, I mean, they shouldn't do it. It's a penalty.
Yeah.
don't do it because it's an advantage. The reason why you're not allowed to do it is because it's an advantage if you do it and you keep doing it. And you see people stretch the rules where they slide. And I'm sure they don't do it intentionally, but they are gaining advantage by doing it potentially as well.
That's why getting rid of that tip part is good as well because you like
can't
dive
slide
over
over
the line.
Yeah, it's like your feet have to be over the line.
Yes, you have to continue through past the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think if we had a rule book, it makes it easy for comps too.
Yeah.
Like if you run a comp,
when they're
you just pull up a rule book and go, this is what I have to.
When they're Australia's strongest comps.
Is there any other?
There is. There's other federations. Yeah, there's a lot of competition.
There's not heaps. But
They're dwindling a little bit. I mean, in Vic anyway. You know what I mean? Like in Vic, it seems to be like ASA's sort of having a little bit of trouble finding like sister gyms to run the comps.
Makes sense.
Comparative because the competition
is based in Queensland and AS is based in Vic.
100%.
So
but the AS calendar is so stacked now too.
Yeah.
There's so many comps that it makes it really hard. Like even us, like running comps down here, like it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 of those already. About to have a third.
That's what happens when the sport grows.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Like imagine when powerlifting started.
Yeah, 100%.
And
you
there
get
wasn't
one
really
comp or 2
different
comps a year.
federations.
Yeah.
And then GPC started to like link things up and then...
Which was kind of, I mean, every age thinks they're the golden age, right? Like everyone thinks like, oh, it was better back in my day. And it's like, it wasn't. Like
it was just your
You're
day.
a horse and cart and the mortality rate was 30 years old. Like
when you're 18, you're loving life and you think everything's the best.
Yeah,
in that
100%.
moment.
That was the golden year. That was the golden years. Like, no, it wasn't. But I mean, like in powerlifting, when there was like one federation, like everyone competed against each other. That side of it was cool. There might have only been 18 of you, but you all competed against each other. Now there's 180 or like, you know, like 1,800 of you. But I think that's probably one thing where like, you know, you see some competitors sort of stick with certain federations like ASA or whatever, whatever they feel comfortable in, whatever's closest and more accessible to them, which means that sometimes they don't get the opportunity to compete against the other guys. I don't think it's so much in Australia and Strongman because I think everyone kind of does do whatever comps.
It's not big enough yet.
Yeah.
No one gets paid a retainer.
No. Yeah.
So
I think it's going to happen anytime soon.
That was a big controversy with like the Stoltmans.
Oh, yeah, Mark Boyd.
You were traveling in a car.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing. People blew up about the retainer and it's like, they want
the
their
sport.
athletes to do their comps, so they pay them to stay in.
Happens in
their
every
comps.
other sport. Wild that it's happening in this sport.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You're getting paid to do strongman.
Yeah.
How dare you? Asshole.
We do it for free. How dare you get paid for it?
We pay entry fees.
Yeah, we pay entry fees. Yeah. Till the day I die.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. At our level. Not going to be a Stoltman anytime soon, so.
No. Who knows, though? The sport might have 2 full federations and whole different records, and it might go down the path of powerlifting.
Yeah, maybe, absolutely. But I won't be in it.
The sport?
I'll be old and broken.
Yeah.
I'll be coaching. I'll be the old guy. Like I want to be like the silver fox sitting in my coach's chair at the competitions with like sweat towel and bum bag. Like, do you know who that is? That was Tyson Morrissy back in his day. The golden days.
The golden days. The best days.
The best days.
The pre-COVID
Yeah,
days.
the pre-COVID days.
Yeah.
That's my life goals.
I'm starting to sound old like that. Where like a comp gets stacked and I'm like, oh, 2018, like you missed it. But like this is what it was.
Yeah. I said this to one of my
Referring back to
clients the other
things.
day, just even like driving to work. I feel like as soon as I hit 30, suddenly I start complaining about the traffic. Like Geelong never used to be this bad. Like we never used to have this kind of traffic. I was like, did that just happen when I got old? Like
Takes 7 minutes to get to work, not 5.
We'll be the Strongman Say, but give us like 5 years. We'll just be the grumpy old man podcast.
This is pretty much how we started this.
Yeah. No, we started with a car crash.
Yeah, I really want to complain and bitch about stuff. Can you put a microphone in front of me? Give me validation.
I want to vent to the world.
Yeah. Everyone validate me, please.
Yeah, validation, please. Thank you.
Don't argue. I don't want that.
Yeah. This is a one-way conduit.
Yeah.
Like, I talk to you and complain. I don't want to hear it back. Kind of like our suggestions box, actually, circling back. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Short and sweet. I don't think it was that short.
I actually have no idea. Probably good for a first one.
Yeah.
Stuff.
How long are we running?
40 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
Shit.
I don't want to listen to me longer than maybe 40 minutes. 40 minutes is a long time.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah, I think that's heaps. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in if you tuned in. I was going to say to Coco earlier, I don't think he'd watch this, but if he does, when you're talking and calling him light, I was like, go eat a donut. Go eat something, big man.
He is forever trying to get
Yeah.
past 130.
He says that.
I can't talk.
not
I
that
keep doing the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, just want to crack 100. Just want to crack this.
He's over 100. Don't tell anyone, but he's over 100.
I got there eventually.
He's definitely 100.
Got there
Yeah.
eventually.
We were basically the same weight when I came back from backpacking.
It's not something to brag about for you. Not at all.
I fluctuate every quarter. I do 3 months of training on and 3 months off. I just feel like I'm giving everyone a chance to catch up.
Every other time you did it, though, you were running a marathon or an Iron. Like, there was a reason for why you cut weight. This time you just did nothing.
For the record, I never ran a marathon. It was a half marathon in the mountains or something, but like it's not
In
the
the
same.
mountains, up a hill, fought a bear. Whatever.
Yeah, fought a bear.
Whatever. Talk about that in the next podcast.
That's time for another podcast. That's an episode on its own. The bear's great. We're friends now, though.
Shaved him down, called him Thomas.
Yeah. He's got no OnlyFans now.
Squat's great.
Yeah, and he didn't quite make it to Australia's Strongest Man, but that's all right.
Bears don't have hamstrings.
Can't move well enough.
No.
Shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, love it. Thanks for listening. Welcome
All
to the
right,
Strongman
thanks.
Say. See you in a fortnight.